welcome to Puzzle Master. Today I'm going to be showing you the solution for the Hanayama Baroque puzzle, which means I'm going to show you the very slick moves, the routine for disassembling those two pieces and then reassembling it back into its original position. Now the Baroque puzzle is a level 4 out of a possible 6 on the Hanayama difficulty scale, and it is a level 8 out of a possible 10 on the Puzzle Master difficulty scale. And if you haven't already got the Baroque puzzle for yourself, then you can pick it up from our website puzzlemaster.ca. And without further ado, let's crack on with the solution. Okay, so here we have a fully assembled Baroque puzzle. Now first of all, we need to know which way around we're going to hold it. I'm going to keep one piece still the whole time, this piece. I'll tell you which piece that is in a second and how to identify it. But if I keep this one still and just move this one around it, it's going to be much easier for you to follow along to. So now, which puzzle or which piece of the puzzle is this? Now, each piece is slightly different in terms of its grooves and things like that, but the easiest way to identify it is by their engravings. So one of them has a Hanayama engraving on, and one of them has a Baroque engraving on. I'm not sure whether you'll be able to see that Baroque engraving there. But we just need to find the piece with the Hanayama engraving on it, and we're going to turn it over into this position here. Okay, now the puzzle starts in this position, so that's where I'm going to start it from. So once you've got the Hanayama piece in this position here, we're going to be moving the Baroque piece around the Hanayama piece. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to turn around this corner and into this groove, and that allows us to drop down into this position. We're then going to turn over or come back where we came from in this new orientation. We're going to go over the end of this piece here, and then we're going to jump from this gap over into this gap, like so. A few of the positions are quite tight, just fiddle around with it, and if you're in the right position, you will get to the position that you're aiming for. Now the next move is very slick. We're going to swap from this gap to this gap. So what we're going to do is we're going to lay the two pieces like this. And what we can do then is swap onto, not back like that. We can swap from this gap to this gap up here, which is a very, very nice move. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to come around that first corner again. And so that it's a little bit easier to see, I'm going to swap the Hanayama piece around into this position, just so you can see the moves a little bit more easily from this side. So we're going to continue on with the Baroque piece. We're going to slide it into this gap, and then we're going to come around onto this tail here, into this position, and we're then going to invert that Baroque piece. Flip it upside down so that that strange sort of keyring attachment is in this position, or we can see it facing up in this position here. Then what we're going to do is we're going to slide back into this gap like so. Now here is a very slick move again, so I'm going to do it nice and slowly. We're going to turn it into this position. We're going to slightly lean it so that the thin axis of that Baroque piece can slide out and into this position here. So again, from here, it's a very slick move, from here to here. Okay, what that then allows us to do is place and turn each piece so it's sort of inside each other, and then we simply separate from there. It's a very, very clever solution to this one and very satisfying, and that is how you do it. And to reassemble the Baroque puzzle back into its original position, first of all we need to get the orientation right, and it's a little bit easier to identify which piece is which now because the engravings are more on show. It's not being covered up by the other piece. So again, we want the piece with the Hanayama engraving on. We're going to turn it over, and we want the tail to the right hand side. So tail here, Hanayama engraving underneath here. We then take the Baroque piece and we line it up so it fits perfectly in there, and then we turn it. Now we want to turn it so that the tail, this end of the Baroque piece, is coming up towards us into here. It is possible to turn it this way, but you won't be able to get any further. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn it up into this position. Now these movements I'm going to do very slowly because they are very slight, but they are very, very slick and very nice when you realize that that's how it works. So what we're going to do is we're going to line it up and tilt it slightly so that we can then push this gap through into this hole in here. And what we can then do is turn the puzzle out, slide it onto the end tail, and then revert the whole Baroque piece to here. And what we're going to then do is slide all the way around the outside and back to this position with that Baroque piece. So we slide into that gap, we slide over the top there, and I'm going to turn the Hanayama piece as we do this one. So we're back around into this position, and we can then re-swap these two pieces. So we lay it flat down and we swap onto that top piece. From there, we come back over, which is the tightest position in my opinion. So once this, yeah, you have to be pretty much spot on to get it back into this position. And then all we have to do is go around that corner, flip it back up horizontally, turn it around and lock it in position. And that is how we reassemble the Baroque puzzle. So there we go. That is how you disassemble and then reassemble the two Baroque puzzle pieces. Personally, it's one of my favourites. Not for looks, it's not one of the best looking Hanayamas in my opinion, but it is one of the most satisfying solved. To say there is just two pieces, some of the moves that you have to go through, those sort of swapping moves and twists and pull throughs, and then that final sort of separation where they're perfectly aligned, is very satisfying for me personally. Now hopefully this has helped you solve the Baroque puzzle for yourself. If you want to pick up more puzzles just like the Baroque puzzle, then you should check out our website puzzlemaster.ca, where we have the largest variety of puzzles on the internet in the world. And until next time, I will see you later.